an enemy of democracy. What it means is that Senator Godswill Akpabio has become an enemy of democracy and is sticking to the vicious cycle of election rigging, manipulation, falsification, and subterfuge by trying to maintain the same provision that Supreme Court told you that if you do, you are an enemy of democracy. That man is an enemy of democracy and should be removed if he doesn't resign. In one word, corruption. You know, when people hear corruption, they always rush to think it is only financial. No. Corruption is the abuse of public office for private gain. Corruption, the whole idea is for self-preservation. The whole idea is that they know they've lost the support of the Nigerian people. And so they want to rig the 2027 election before it even started. Look at shifting the notice, the time INEC will give notice.
By half.
No, what sense does it make? You know why? Because if they conduct their primary earlier, people who will be dissatisfied because they are going to implode will have the opportunity to find alternatives before the time.
So they want
Personal gain. So they want to cut everything in order to make sure that they survive. Private gain. So this is simply corruption. And if you witnessed the proceeding of the House, you saw the way he just told somebody, move a motion, another second. Those in support say, look, if you have been in such parliament, and I'm telling you the truth, at times people will be just discussing because they know what they have already agreed on. So they will just be saying, I, in all this. They will not know that some evil has been done. Let me tell you something. Even if Tinubu comes out unopposed in 2027, he will fail. Because our constitution is clear. That even if you are the only person that came out, they will still ask Nigerians to vote whether yes or no.
Right.
That you will, more people will vote no. How can you vote yes? No, let me tell you. Would there be any person that is sane that will transport himself under the new flight tickets cost of Tinubu, 500,000 naira, to go to his village, to go to the cubicle, to vote for Tinubu? No, is it possible? Okay, without preempting things. The person cannot even travel through the land because he will be afraid that he will be terrorized, kidnapped, or killed. The person cannot travel through the air because he can't afford the air ticket. The person cannot travel through the sea because, one, river may not have reached his village, and even if he travels, he will die. Can't you? You're hearing about boats capsizing every day.
Especially in Niger State. But the problem...
So it is hopeless. And they now want to rig the election before it starts. And they are making a mess of the Electoral Act 2022. Let me tell you, without mandatory electronic transmission of results, there is no Electoral Act that encourages technology.
Okay.
And INEC itself, of course, you know, the only reason we are doing this is because everybody has lost confidence in INEC. In that Supreme Court judgment, Justice Nyango Koro, Justice of the Supreme Court, as he still is, he said, truth be told, that the non-transmission of the election results into the INEC Rev portal in real time, electronically, reduced the confidence of the people in the election. And so what it means is that even the Supreme Court has understood that people lost confidence in that election because this was not electronically transmitted. And there is a Senate president because the legislature is the foundation of democracy, is the gatekeeper of democracy. The reason America is still standing today is because of the legislature that has refused to be compromised.
Of course.
And you have a Senate president who wants to rig election, who wants to manipulate election by Supreme Court's own submission, who wants Nigerians to lose confidence in the election. Because the Supreme Court has told you that the best way to make sure that the people have confidence in the election is immediately you finish in the polling unit, let them see their result in their own phone. And let me tell you, when people are debating, the legislature should better have an interpretative clause to every word they use. I told you that, in my own opinion, there were substantial provisions that made it mandatory for INEC to transfer and transmit. Section 62, good. Section 62, verse 2, section 62, subsection 2, is very clear. He said, INEC shall compile, maintain, and update on a continuous basis a register of election results, to be known as National Electronic Register of Election Results, which shall be a distinct database and a repository of polling unit by polling unit results, including collated results of any election organized by INEC. And they should maintain the electronic copy at their headquarters. What else do you need?
That's what the law says. Even the
Section 62. Now, the Supreme Court now picked Section 62(1) and said this represents the manual transfer. And Section 62(2), which is the completion of the electronic transfer, you said no, it is post-election process. No. The interpretative canon of the law is that you interpret a section jointly, holistically, politically, not taking one subsection. One section is one section. So if the Supreme Court took 62(1), they must take 62(2) to complete the hybrid nature. That is actually the collation system they're talking about. 62(2). And they said on a continuous basis. Do you know what that means? Immediately you finish the election, transmit the polling unit. And each collation you finish, you transmit. So each level of collation is using that data, which they said repository of election result, to be used to guide you.
Okay, you know.
But then, because of that nebulosity, that confusion, there is nothing wrong in the legislature confirming it by amending it so that it will leave nobody in doubt.
All right, good. Let's move on, because I wanted to also talk about a few other things, you know, and our time is fast, going very fast. The issue of insecurity persists. But something happened in this country on Christmas Day. You had the U.S. president, the U.S. government, you know, launch a series of Tomahawk missiles, I think about 12, you know, in southwest Nigeria.
Northwest.
Northwest. In northwest Nigeria, specifically Sokoto. So, since then also, you've had the Americans, you know, send us some equipment that they can help our intelligence. And then this last week, the Americans also sent a small team of military generals, military officials. Now, I want to ask you, Ken, how do you interpret this? Because I think that, hey, if you need help, you need help, you know. But I'd like to hear, what's your perspective?
My perspective, first and foremost, is that it is the colossal failure and admission of failure that Tinubu's government is incapable of protecting the lives and property of Nigerians. This is the first time in the history of this nation that a government will say they invited a foreign government to bomb our country. And do you know the most annoying thing that is making me to even want to cry? We heard about this bombing from America, not from Nigeria.
Although they confirmed it.
But he said that's what we heard.
You're right.
And I'm telling you, if we have not heard, they may not even have told you.
Oh, wow.
It's a shame. Everything that is happening, the troops are so called, we heard it from Americans. So can you imagine such thing, as sensitive as the security of the people, and a foreign country is performing the act in Nigeria, and we are hearing it from a foreign country? So it's a total mess. We need help. Yes, we do. Because life has no duplicate. Since January 1, what we have been hearing is stories of tears and blood. Kwara State, that used to be very peaceful before Tinubu came in, Kwara State is now under siege. That terrorists go out to tell people convert or be killed. That terrorists send letter beforehand The village head will alert the security operatives, and nothing will be done until they are massacred. The only achievement Tinubu has made in security is to send verbal condolence messages and to speak empty words. That's the security objective will do, the security agency area. Nothing else. I'm sorry to tell you that it will still happen again.
Well, okay.
I want to tell you, the last time I was talking with you, last 2 years or thereabout, I told you these governments will fail. And the reason is this: they know the solution. But because of their own self-preservation, they don't want to cure it. Simple. State police. I remember I told you that 4 years you will see this state police will not come. You said you will be shocked. Because then they were saying they will soon do it. They will soon do it. The first year they came in, I said, look, first year is 25% of the government.
Yeah.
Now it's 75%. We're approaching the third year. Have you seen state police? That is why it will happen again. We have about 923,000 square kilometers of land in Nigeria. Look at how many we have in our security forces. Do you think that even when they are well equipped and well motivated, they will be able to oversee all? America, with its sophistication in technology, they have federal police, they have state police, they have community police. Yeah. Every university has its own police system.
That, yeah.
Why don't we have the same thing in Nigeria? You want to monopolize all the forces so that you can use them to intimidate and manipulate the system for your self-preservation. That is all. So, unfortunately, do you know the annoying thing? In Tinubu's regime, people are killed not only by human terrorists, but by even animals. A young lady, rising star, Ifunanya Wangene, the lady with the golden voice, a snake, beat her.
Are you going to hold the president?
Absolutely. They went to all the medical centers and all the hospitals. Anti-snake venom was not there. Johesu, 90 days have been on strike. And this is a government that is borrowing all this money, that has stopped fuel subsidy, and the health system has collapsed. If that health system was working, that lady would be alive. I can't remember the last time I heard that snake bite killed somebody. But look at this rising star. But have you not noticed that one young lady that was the best nurse 2025, Chinemerem Chimeziem, died? One chance people. Security coming in FCT.
Abuja. Security,
rising star. Why is it that you saw how the treasurer, former treasurer of MBA, a lady, Nwabo, princess, died? One chance. Why is it that it is rising stars that are being killed in Tinubu's regime? Why is it that it is women and children that are dying? Any government that is evil has a way of killing women and children. The World Bank report, no, the United Nations report, you said Nigeria has now the highest maternal mortality rate. 1 out of every 100 women that give birth dies. That same instrument that is the channel of joy has become channel of tears in Nigeria. 56% of the women give birth at home because they can't afford hospital. They can't afford transportation. 35% of the people, 35 million, are now in abject poverty. They can't afford food. 130 million are in poverty, and 10 million is being added every day. We are in a sorry state in this country. Only God can save us. Okay. And that is why we must have to make sure that everything about the election is straightened out, all the amendments, so that Nigerians will choose whether to continue in this abject misery, poverty, or degradation of their lives, or choose a new life.
Thank you so much for coming to Inside Sources. Thank you for your voice. And thank you for the passion that your voice carries.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.